Hello, welcome to portfolio number 2. This one will be covering render textures and a really cool trick we can do with them to make a security camera-like scenario. So this scene basically features a plane in the middle. Think of it as like a security screen or some kind of, TV monitor. We're watching these cameras, and we have two cameras on each corner. These cameras are each rendering some kind of, visual that's going to be projected onto this texture right here. So real quick, to make this texture, you simply right-click, create, go down to render texture, you click it, and name it whatever you need to. It'll generate its own material as well in the materials folder. I already have it set up, so it's not going to do that right now. Uh, yeah, inside each of these, we can see the size, and this is a very important thing to look at because this is going to be very influencing on the performance of your application. So it's basically the resolution that you're rendering a camera at and then displaying it in game. So it's very expensive to run high resolutions all the time. Ideally, if you were to use this in some kind of like game or build, you really want to just have uh, these cameras rendering only when you need to, like only when you're looking at them, or like maybe if you're close to it. Uh, and even then, you don't want to be rendering 4K in game. It's going to be really expensive unless you really need to unless you really have to like render that uh, high resolution. Anyways, so I already had this set up. The way that you activate these, click on your plane or whatever service you want to render to, drag and drop in the renderer. It's going to change the material to it, and then select your camera. In this case, just choosing this camera real quick. So yeah, this camera right here, go down to output, output texture, and you drag and drop this same thing into that camera. So for both of these, they both have the same texture as their output. When we press play, you're going to see it's not rendering both at the same time because it's not very performant, and it's also just the way I have it set up with the buttons. So if you look closely, I'll just go ahead and play this. I have two buttons. When I click A, it's going to disable camera B and leave A to output. When I click B, it's going to do the same thing to A. Currently, it should be displaying B as a default. So, click this. Oh, I guess it's doing A by default. But yeah, so you can see you can switch back and forth between them, and you can still see that render texture inside this render texture, so it is still displaying. There are ways you can cull that out of the frame by changing the layer mask of this camera. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching.